All right. Welcome to the Unpredictable Show with Kristy. And it's Friday, usually Friday at 11 a.m. on Central Time. And today I have a special guest. Y'all don't know who I bring in, what we're going to talk about, but today I'm going to let her introduce herself. So here we go. This is Kanisha. Go ahead and say hi and introduce yourself.
Hello. I am Kanisha Henderson. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and licensed massage therapist. And ultimately, I'm an entrepreneur. My business is Whole Root Healing, LLC. So,
wow, yes. I didn't know that you also entrepreneur and also massage therapist.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. I'm not just knowing about, my guests, but also I'm learning something new all the time. Yes. And also what else you also do, multiple talent, multiple skills.
Oh, yeah.
And also for clients to connect with you and, audience to connect with you on a different level. Not just personal. Like, they see you every day, like, And then, on social media, on your business page or things like that. It's like, oh, this is Kanisha. But what else about her?
Yes, it's a lot.
yes. So our goal is to make sure you get connected, something else about Dallas and what sources, and also, business entrepreneur that you're able to get some help with. So that's our goal. Okay? And good vibes all the time. Good energy.
Yes.
I can feel she has good energy. Yes. She looks so good today, just for the show.
And so do you.
Thank you. All right. 2 things I'm going to kick out for you. Tell me 2 fun facts about you.
2 fun facts.
Yes.
At the time, I bungee jumped from the highest place in the world back in 2009. I was studying abroad in South Africa, and Bloukrans Bridge was the longest bungee jumping spot in the world at that time. Scared me like crazy, but I did it. Okay. So that's one fun fact. And another fun fact is I just joined a board in my city, the city of Princeton. I'm on the Community Development Corporation board. I just got that seat in the last month, and so I'm very excited for that. Very new position, and so another fun fact.
Yeah.
Adding to the list of things that I do.
Congratulations.
Yes,
I love that.
you.
I love that. You kind of grow so much by the time in the next, maybe the next podcast or so. She's like, I just joined this. I just did this. I just traveled to this. Wow.
Yes, lots going on.
So were you in Africa you mentioned?
South Africa. Wow. I studied abroad for 5 months there. And we traveled from the Western Cape to the Eastern Cape. And one of our stops was the Bloukrans Bridge, where I got to bungee jump with my classmates that I traveled with. So
how was it? Were you said you
terrified.
Were scared, but I mean after that you're like, oh my God, I did something so exciting and maybe on the bucket list that you never thought that you could.
Never thought I would do anything like that. And it was a very eye-opening experience because you have to let go of control. You have no control, even though I tried to put one of the
you put your life in the hands of the God. Okay.
And they did not have any type of equipment on it. I was like, I am so sorry. He was just like, more people do this than you think. And I'm like, you're over this bridge. And how do you do this job? But
was the bridge pretty? Was the bridge pretty? I mean, what
it was beautiful. It was basically a river stream that went from the mountains to the ocean. And so when you're hanging there waiting for them to come get you, you just see this beautiful scenery of the mountains and the water and the ocean. And it's, of course, a different view because you're upside down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But it was phenomenal.
Waiting for them to get ready and everything, I'd be passed out, right? Just looking at the heights and looking at everything going on around me, I'd probably pass out by then.
Well, you know what? After I realized I was falling and it was over, and it actually caught me, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna die, right? That's the first thing. You're like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
And you were young too, younger now.
Oh yes, much younger. I was. Maybe 21?
Oh, you had a whole life to live.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Now that I have kids and a family, I don't know if I would do it, but
it's a different level now. It's like, no, I cannot waste my life. They need me.
Yes.
My kids need me. My family need me.
But I do like the thrill, adrenaline junkie here and there. But that was probably, I want to say, the craziest thing I've done. But very eye-opening and definitely life-changing because you got to let go of control sometimes. And it was a lesson in itself.
Yes. And and you, I would say you believe in your journey and you believe in I guess, your faith, and then, put your your life in the hands of God and the people around you.
Course,
yeah, you trust them. Yeah, I trust them, because what else can you do? You're already there. If you feel worried, if you feel sad, or you have anxiety, what's gonna make you? It's gonna make you worse. It's gonna make you worse.
Yep.
So I feel like people seem to worry about things that not even happening yet.
Yes,
worry about
out of
things,
their control, or things
yes.
that you can't actually tangibly do anything
Right.
with. And that's one of the biggest struggles I think a lot of people have, is focusing on what they can control versus what they cannot control. And so, of course, I help people with that all the time.
Of course.
Within therapy, but also for myself, it's been a journey to figuring out how to let go of control and trust God in the process, because you're not going to know every detail. You're not going to understand the whys of everything, but it's beautiful when you can just sit with, it's going to be okay, and this is what I'm choosing to focus on. And most times it's about yourself and what you can control for yourself and your world. So,
and I think if it's time for you to go, God will tell you it's time for you to go.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you never know.
Yeah. Never know.
There was time you're like, okay, I'm going to live up to 90 years old, 100 years old. You never know.
You never know.
When he called you, he like, hey, I need you for a purpose. So let's go. And I give you a reason to live here for another purpose.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So to me, I love possibilities and positive, and always thinking good energy, good vibes, and trusting your life, trusting the people around you. Yeah. So scare and anxiety and all that stress and depression, especially with what's going on right now. It's unpredictable. It's heavy. It's heavy, but to me, how I try not to be involved so much is not listening to it, because you can't control it. You can't control it. It's going on. You have a little part. It's like, what can you say that would stop it? You can't do anything. Good things or bad things or negative things, whatever you wanted to say or your comment, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. So live your life to the fullest, right?
Yes.
Enjoy every day. Every day you waking up is like an opportunity. That's mean you winning. That's mean you winning. You wake up,
you
winning.
Chance to do
That's
it again.
right.
Yes.
That's right. So it is heavy. Yes, it's heavy. So have you, experienced people kind of came to you for that reason and different reason other than many reasons they came to you.
It's different layers for different people. I have lots of young adults that are struggling with kind of failure to thrive in different ways, but also seeing the state of the world and feeling stuck. Or even people that's older that have lived through certain struggles already, and they're like, part of them is numb to it, and they're like, am I wrong for being numb? It's different.
Am I wrong for being happy? What's going on? Am I, do I have to be sad? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, you just be yourself. You can never please anybody. You be sad. Some people are like, oh, just live your life, don't be sad. And they're like, oh, that means you don't have any empathy for this, or you don't have empathy for this person or this country. You're like, you know what? Yeah, you can never please everybody.
Right. And that's where you focus on when you can control. And so I try to live that out by example. That's why I joined, the city council actually voted me on. But, that's why I applied for the position, because I want to focus on what I can control and our community and the pieces that are closest to us, what we can control. And so, I try to be a living testimony to that of, even though we can't control the big pieces of the world, we have small parts that we can play within our community, within our own families, and how we show up for our families and our community is very important. And we definitely need more positivity in the world. More often than
anything. Yes. I mean, you don't have to be a therapist. You don't have to be a realtor. I mean, you can be anything but provide possibility for everybody, everyone. Treat everybody with kindness. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. Just so many things that, use common sense. Use common sense, not worry about social media, not worry about what's going on. Just focus on you and the person in front of you and your community community.
Yes.
So you're going to be like a big impact in Princeton.
I'm hoping
I
so.
believe you will. I believe you will.
Yeah, I have some ideas when it
Yeah.
comes to health and wellness on the community level and how we can best support each other. And I love to see that there are so many amazing people within the community that start things that people sometimes never know about. And I'm just grateful to be in a space where I can use my platform in a different way.
Right.
And so,
Your skills, your talents. I mean,
Yeah.
you had so many experiences.
Oh, yes, lots of experiences. Some people, I had a client ask me yesterday, how many jobs have you had in life? And I'm like,
High five, high five, high five.
I've had lots of experience in lots of different ways, from Chicago to Wisconsin to South Africa and now Texas. And so, all those experiences have truly shaped where I am and who I am. And it sounds like you know very much what that's like.
Yes.
And so, I'm excited for the possibilities in Princeton, and we have a lot of work to do because we have a lot of people that have moved in over the last 5 to 10 years, and we're the fastest growing city in the country.
It's growing so fast.
It's kind of wild, but I'm grateful because I'm in a position that can hopefully influence the health and wellness of a community that is growing so fast, but is looking to thrive and prosper, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
I heard prosper is top in the country cities, like wealthy and things like that. Salina also too, and you you
right
obviously
down
on the board with like Princeton. 380 is getting better. Hopefully the street and everything. You know, like I have clients like, hey, how's 380 now? Because people don't want to like go in there and live in there, and they won't come out. It's like once they get into 380, Princeton, Aubrey, all that area right there. It's like, Kristy, I'm not getting out the highway. I'm like, it's just like one way there, one way back, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but
that's
definitely
a big
growing.
Stress point. Yeah.
Yes, growing a lot in that area. So especially if anybody want like new community, new construction, that's where they going. So They're like, Kristy, take me there. I'm like, it's an hour away, so let's go. And then maybe we get lunch, we do everything there. We probably won't come back till 8 p.m.
Right, it's a little trip.
Yes, it is. It's a road trip. I love road trips. Yes. So I met the mayor of Princeton.
Oh, nice.
Yes, when I went to one of the, I think it was either the council or the board meeting.
Yeah.
It was at the Lexus location or Mercedes location.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. So I met him, and he was talking about, how he kind of helped Princetons and, grow businesses and also the residents.
Yes.
So that was nice. That was nice. Yeah.
Mr. Eugene is awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, his wife was there too. So I met a lot of people, and also the people in the area that wanted to grow Princeton and also surrounding area.
Awesome.
So now that you mentioned about, being healthy and wellness and everything in Princeton, that's going to be awesome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, kind of bring more people, bring more people and resident, and also people outside of the state.
Yes.
Yeah, they kind of wanted to move into Texas. They wanted to move into Princeton and the surrounding area.
Yeah.
And I heard, and then I think Princeton is the first one to ever mention about have you on board to kind of provide a healthy environment, a healthy community.
Yes, and I'm
everybody
really
gonna follow you guys.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and there are some amazing city council members that also push that initiative. But I will say, I definitely have some ideas in the sense of how we can build more thriving communities on a systemic level, and our systems in this country, that's kind of where everybody's struggling in different ways. And so, bringing a holistic and whole perspective to the community is one of my biggest fights, I would say, is making sure we come from a whole perspective. And, I know other communities are doing it around the country in different ways. And, whether we bring in different models, I have some models I would love to bring to the city. And, I'm looking forward to the opportunities that can happen.
They can't wait to execute your plan and your ideas.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Yes. So usually when somebody have the same mind, the same vibes, it's like, I'm the type of person I feel like we only live once. right? We only live once. So you have one life to live. What you going to learn? What you going to do?
Yes.
So when it's like time for you to go, you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't traveled here. I haven't learned how to, write contract. I haven't learned how to fly a kite. So many things that you can do within your time. Some people think like, their life is so busy every day, struggle with, life and wife and mom's life and family life and work life and things like that. But I feel like taking a little bit time for yourself, 15 minutes. 30 minutes, and then expand it to an hour, 2 hours, and then maybe a day, 2 days, or maybe take a 1 week off. That's very, very important. So you can connect with, family again, with the friends, family, co-workers, doing something outside your daily routine. Because I feel that's very, very important. They're like, I'm too busy. Yes. Were you in the restroom for 30 minutes? What you gonna do for 30 minutes? That's your time right there. Do something. Yes. Weren't you, watching the game or TV or watching a movie for like an hour or so?
Right.
That's time right there. Don't say you don't have time, because you can make time for yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's my biggest thing. People always say, well, I don't have time for that. And then I get the question, how do you have time for everything that you do? And I'm like, because I make time for it.
Right, you make time.
Yeah, make time. Yes, and one of the things that I did a conference in the last 2 years with Jacob Way. It's an organization that I support as well, and they support children and families that deal with childhood cancer. And we had an open forum, and we were just asking people to share their insight. And one of my good friends, Mila, was there. And she gave great advice, and it's pencil yourself in. You have to put yourself on your calendar, especially when
because you already put everybody else on your calendar.
Yes, and a lot of times people forget that you are part of the calendar. Like they're like, oh, I got to work, I got school, and then I got this baby shower, I got this to go to, and I'm like, okay, where are you at? Where's your workout? Where's your moment for gratitude? Where's your moment for movement, exercise? Where's your moment for connection with people? And, the world can feel very overwhelming. But if we don't take a pause to just slow down and look at all the pieces, I tell people all the time, if I didn't have my calendar, I don't know what I would do with myself, because that's how I do organize my time and structure the pieces that's important, whether it's going to travel to see family or, picking up the phone to call a friend or reaching out to a distant relative I haven't talked to in a while. We have to make time for ourselves and the people we ultimately see as important in our lives. And that changes over time, of course, but
we change people. Depends on
seasons of
a life, right?
Yeah.
At this age, like you very close to Kanisha, and then the other age you close to Kristy, and it's just different. But you don't want to lose that momentum. You don't want to lose that friend. I'm like, hey, once in a while, hey Kanisha, how you doing?
Right.
Oh, right now, oh my gosh, you've done so much. I haven't heard from you for 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
And then some just disappear. Yeah, some disappear out your life. Extension,
let me
ghosting.
Tell you, ghosting is.
You know what?
It's hilarious
after
to me.
5 calls and 5 check-in and 5 invitation, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with you.
Yeah,
I think you don't need me. You don't want me. You don't want to hang out with me. You don't want this vibe.
Well, you know what?
Then I don't need your vibe.
That's an interesting concept, because some people need that perspective too. And so I always tell people check-ins with people. If you notice that they haven't checked in a while, ask them, like, do you notice you don't check in? Yeah. And some people be like, oh, that's so direct. That seems confrontational. And I'm like, not necessarily.
Depends on how they take it, right?
Exactly. It is allowing things to be discussed. And a lot of times people are not comfortable discussing the uncomfortable parts of life. Right. And addressing check-ins.
What we're talking right now, a lot of people are so uncomfortable. We got to be brave, okay? Kristy brave. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to talk on your behalf.
Yes, I love that, being brave. And so, I think it's important for people to, have some introspective moments of, who am I? How am I showing up for myself? How am I showing up for other people? But we should be able to take criticism too. If we haven't showed up in a certain capacity, maybe we were at a breaking point ourselves. And it's okay to share that. You know what? I didn't confide in you during that time. I didn't reach out to my friends because I was going through a hard time. Because you can uncover some truths that probably need to be said if you just have an actual check-in.
Right.
And so I encourage people to have the uncomfortable conversations all the time. And people are always worried about how people are going to react or respond. And that's fair. That's fair. Most people grew up with very reactive parents who, if you brought something to their attention, they shut you down or didn't acknowledge how you felt.
It. They're like, oh no, you know.
Oh, that's just you. It's dismissive.
Yeah. Back in the country, we wouldn't do that. I grew up, I was fine. I grew up fine, but and
it's dismissive. And so, you know, a lot of people are afraid of that happening in adulthood. And that's fair, but you won't know until you try.
Right.
And if it does happen, you know, you can say, you know, it sucks that you have that perspective, but maybe you're not my person to be in my life either, you know? Because like you said, we don't want to waste time on things that ultimately don't allow us to grow or prosper in different ways or just pour into being a healthy person.
Right.
So,
it's good for yourself, your family, the people around you, especially in relationship. Especially in relationship, it's so healthy. And also when you go to work, when your mind is focused, you release a lot of things that have been holding on for so long and uncomfortable. I mean, you live better. You know? Yes, everything you do, you eat better, you sleep better, you work better, and then
the releasing of things is therapeutic in so many ways.
So, I was in therapy before. I still go to therapy sometimes. You know, it's normal. I mean, it's normal. It's not something
I tell everybody. If everything is okay, it's okay to go.
Right, it's okay.
Sometimes you just need to check in, like everything is okay.
You just need somebody to talk to. Understanding everything, right?
Someone that's unbiased.
Yes, unbiased.
And I tell people all the time, when you vet for a therapist, please make sure, you know, that they are unbiased in different ways. Now, most of us have our own opinions, our own faith, or different things that we live by. But when you come into a session, you should be able to be your authentic self as much as possible. And as long as I tell all my clients, as long as you don't curse me out, we're going to be okay.
Get aggressive with me. Like, you wrong.
Don't take that, because I'm here to help you. I don't have any qualms against you. I just want the best for you. So if you hear things and get defensive, that may be a trigger for you, right? It's not that I'm
anger issues or not.
It's something deeper.
Something deeper.
And so, you know, but there are therapists out there that get triggered themselves in session and are not their healthiest selves. And so I've had, unfortunately, quite a few clients come to me that have had some bad experiences with therapists in the sense of they felt judged or dismissed or not seen. And it's really unfortunate because, I mean, our role is to protect people and provide a safe space. And so I always tell people, if you don't necessarily feel fully safe, it's okay to let that therapist know, I don't think this is a good fit.
Find another one.
And, you know, I've only had maybe 2 clients. I had one client ghost me. And then I eventually told her, I'm taking you off my caseload. I don't know what's going on. And she was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you. I'm like, it's okay. But, you know, everyone's not a good fit for everybody. It's not meant to be. It's like going to get your hair done, your nails done, anything. You're not just
going way or you don't like, you know,
you want to go to someone that you do feel safe and secure with. And, like, I've even noticed some clients get kind of defensive, and I'm like, you know, if you feel like I'm triggering for whatever reason, it's okay to go with another therapist, too, where you feel the safety, because our brains are tricky. Our thoughts and feelings can be very tricky, and sometimes they lie to us, and what we deem as safe, sometimes we have to figure that out slowly. And so having the safest space possible to share your deepest thoughts and feelings and behaviors, you know, I hope everybody has the space for that at some point. Because,
and a person, you know, and also too. Sometimes you feel like, okay, you are safe at at that location, at that house, or in
Right.
that room,
Yeah.
or with that person, but you're actually not.
Yeah.
When you're actually
Right.
not. Like you said, your brain or your mind saying, yeah, I'm safe here. It's okay for him to beat me up. It's okay for him to cuss me out.
yes.
No, it's not. It's not okay.
Yes.
Like, I get you talking to you like this. But yeah, I mean, it's just some people, just their mind is so stuck, or they seen it from their childhood experience, or they seen from their parents, or maybe,
Yes.
domestic violence inside the house, and they feel, oh, that's okay, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's safe. No, it's not.
No, it's not. And that's the piece where understanding what safety and security looks like, it can be challenging for a lot of people. And this is where sometimes I do encourage people to possibly get on medication just to pull those defenses down enough for you to do the work sometimes. And that's why some people don't do well in therapy, because their fight or flight system is so activated, they don't have really the skills to calm down. And depending on the therapist, if they're not picking up on that and addressing that early on, it can be really hard. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I seen a lot as a realtor. I seen a lot, divorce cases going on right
Yes.
now, and it's just so hard. Should I buy a house? Should I not buy a house? Should I move out? Should I
Right.
do this? It's just so tough. I mean, for
Yeah.
two people that does not have the same mindset or doesn't have the same mutual agreement,
Yes.
affecting the kids,
Being on the
affecting
same
people,
page,
being on the
yes.
same page. Should I move out? When should I move out? It's just so much right now, and
Yeah.
you're probably seeing a lot of cases of divorces a lot lately.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So I have clients come over to me, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm your therapist now.
Right.
they just
said,
need
"Wait a
somebody to
minute."
talk to, and because of my past and everything, it's like, Kristy, you're so easy to talk to. I can so relate to
Yeah.
you. I'm like, yes, I can relate to you. You can relate to me.
Yes,
yes.
yes. And I was going to say, even with that, the realtors, the hairdressers, the nail techs, they're all therapists in their own right.
Oh my
okay?
God, they come and they talk forever.
Oh yeah, and I'm so glad that even some states have kind of implemented some mental health initiatives for some of the actual careers, because I'm like, someone will easily talk to their hairdresser
Right.
before they actually go into an office and say, oh, I'm here to talk about my issues.
Right.
And so, I respect everyone's profession in that, right? And I always tell people, don't diminish your role.
Yeah.
You never know how impactful you can be to
Right.
someone.
Right.
And, one thing that thankfully I was raised to respect all people, no matter, what role or job that they have, because we all have a part to play. And no matter what your role is, you can have a positive impact on someone, and talk to them simply about divorce or child, being a parent and child issues and, whatever it may be. It's finding those, so to speak, safe spaces too. And again,
someone let's say not everybody they talk to. So let's say in a group, they're meeting you, they meeting me, they meeting Zach, they meeting different people.
Yeah.
But she probably just come to me and talk to me instead of to you or
Right.
instead of to Zach or some other people. They feel safe with certain person or people,
Right.
And then
Yes.
able to share. Some
Yeah.
they're able just to share just enough, like socializing.
Exactly.
Some they're able to let it out and share. Hey, I'm going through this. You just a person that I can talk to, and
Yes.
you never know.
it's baby steps.
Yeah, yeah.
I always tell people, it's levels of emotional intelligence and intellect in that way, where sometimes that's just a door where you are comfortable sharing with someone within your realm, and then you kind of go to the next step. And for a lot of people, depending on their faith or how they live their life and how they pour into gratitude in different ways, you need layers of support. And so, you might not start out in therapy, but I've had so many clients recommend their co-workers or friends or somebody on the street. They're like, hey, I gave somebody your information.
Somebody need you.
I'm just letting you know.
The world
And so,
need you.
and I'm very grateful for that, because that lets people know that there are levels. They were safe enough to talk to them and safe enough to say, hey, I got an extra resource for you. Why don't you utilize it? And they call. And they're like, I'm so glad I called. I didn't even realize I needed this.
Right.
Like, they told me about you, but I didn't know. And I will say I'm pretty unconventional when it comes to my therapy. I'm not the typical therapist, because I do have different skills, and I am very real in my sessions.
You don't go out there and say, you need me.
No, not at all. No, people show up at my doorstep. They're like, I heard
about
need you. And I'm here, and I'm like, okay, well.
Today, you're going to know they heard about you.
Yeah, so just, it's the baby steps to life. And, everyone that comes to me, they don't always do, so to speak, like trauma work. But, we all have little traumas on our brain. And that's one thing that I realized. A lot of people don't have enough education about their brain and their bodies. And that's one of my favorite things to do is just educate people.
Yes.
Because the moment that they know how their brain works or how their body functions, and that we need balance and we need to observe our thoughts and feelings and not just embody them, it allows for a different level of consciousness and hopefully different behaviors. And so that's kind of my joy in the sense of, allowing people those baby steps to get into therapy, and then they get in and then they get a little comfortable, and I'm like, okay, well, let's explore this. And they're like, And I'm like, baby steps.
Right.
But, at some point, I'm very grateful for the clients that have stuck in it and done the work and allowed themselves some freedom in ways that they didn't even know they needed. And so, mental health is a powerful thing, but so is our physical health. And I talk to people about
balancing. Not just like some people like, okay, I'm going to eat healthy, and then I'm not going to work out.
Right.
So, I'm going to work out, but I'm not eating. Everything is balanced.
Yes.
I'm going to go hang out with my friend, but I'm not hanging out with my family. So everything just, need a little bit of balance.
Yes.
Because you don't know what your body needs. Just kind of like your body needs vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You all need that. You cannot just put all G in your body, right?
Yes.
You cannot just put all A in your body. I'm like, hey, I need bones, so I'm going to eat a lot of, I'm going to drink a lot of milk. I heard somebody like one of my clients a long time ago when I was working with the bank. He's like, I heard carrot it's good for my skin or whatever. So he ate so much carrot that he turned orange.
Yeah, fingers started turning orange. Yes, you got to have balance.
And then now he's like, I look like I have cancer. I'm like, yeah, you do look like you have cancer.
He said, what are you doing? But yeah, balance.
I'm going to eat tomatoes. I'm kind of like, you're going to see everything see through.
Right.
Too much of everything is not good.
Exactly. And, balance is so important. And that's just like I mentioned medication. Right. And one of the biggest things I always tell people, please don't take medication for your mental health without being in therapy.
Right.
They need to be together. Just like you said, the vitamins. If you know you're not eating well, get some supplements. We all need to move.
Right.
Like, that's not even a question. We are human beings. We are on this earth to move. And so when people are like, I'm not a gym person, you don't have to be a gym person to move. You can just go on a walk. Dancing. Light weights.
Yes.
Resistance.
Yes.
Pilates, yoga. Yeah. There are so many things out here to try and do to give ourselves that balance, but you got to try something.
You got to try something. If you don't try, you don't know what works, what doesn't work.
Exactly.
Right? Yes. Same thing, like going out, meet with friends, or connect with people again. You don't have to be a people person.
No.
You can be extrovert, introvert. You can still meet people, talk to people. You might meet an introvert. Y'all just look at each other and just communicate with eyes.
Like
sign language or something.
Yes.
Or just like that mental talk.
Yes.
Just that mental talk. You don't have to be extrovert. It's like, Kristy, you're so extrovert. Yeah, you can talk to anybody. You can too.
Yeah,
you can too.
Well, and that's the thing. There are fears there. Yeah. There are fears of, what if I say the wrong thing? What if it doesn't land? Or what if I don't connect? And it's okay if it doesn't happen. We just moved, and my son, we told him, go down the street, see if you can play with the kids in the neighborhood.
Throw them out there, lock the door.
And then the kids were like, no. And so he came back. He's like, they said I couldn't play with that. I said, well, you know what? That's okay. I said, I'm glad that you did it, because you need to understand that everyone's not going to accept you.
Right.
And that is part of life. But some people have a really hard time with rejection. And instead of saying, you know what, that's not where I'm meant to be.
Right?
If something rejects you, it's
that's
okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
I don't meant to be with that person. I don't meant to be with that group, or I don't meant to be with that employer, or things like that.
Right.
Rejection, I feel like everything happened for a reason.
Yes.
Okay, people come into your life for a reason. People get out of your life for a reason. Jobs, career, anything like that. It's all planned for you, and it fits who you are.
Yes, and a lot of times there is somewhat of a lesson or understanding to come out of it, and like I explained to him, everyone's not meant to be your friend, and that's okay. It was an open invitation on your end, and they shut it down. Let's move forward. And he did a great job. I was really proud of him for not taking it personal or not taking it too hard. And I will say there's a lot of social anxiety that people have, especially after COVID. Oh, my goodness. The social anxiety is...
I think after COVID, it just affects people
in a whole nother way.
Whole different ways. There might be positive ways, and there might be negative ways too.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. The positive ways I would definitely say is, people did kind of hunker down on what were the priorities. But then, it's the balance piece too, of when everything started to balance back out, and how do you show up in other spaces that you haven't been in who knows how long, depending on how shut down you were from COVID. And then the negatives, of course, is, the kids in school having that lack of socialization. And so, Texas is very interesting with a lot of things. But one thing I'm glad that they did is, shutting down the phones in the schools, because it forced the kids to actually interact again and talk at lunch versus being in a device or, it's allowing them to connect in ways that they didn't have 5 years ago. And so, a lot of good, a lot of bad. COVID was a tough time for many. I had 2 babies during that time. So I'm like, I got the COVID babies.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces to it. But, the biggest thing that I think came out of it, at least for me and my family, is the fact that we were able to connect in ways that we hadn't, because we were so busy with life that we kind of forgot what it was to just simply be together. And so, that was
So COVID, how COVID helped me shape what, who I am and what I am right now. Because I appreciate life more. I appreciate, I want to live. I want to live better. I want to be healthy. I want, to take care of myself more. And, focus on the important people that want me. People like want me, love me, focus on my kids, friends, family, the one that want to be with me, So and another thing is like, I'm not chasing. I'm attracting.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
I'm attracting. I'm not chasing. I'm not chasing you anymore. I'm not going to go after you by like back in the day, like Kristy was doing everything for you or doing, going after you or something. No.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's having good boundaries.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
good,
boundary right there. I'm like, yes, that's it. I was like, cut off a lot of negative people, and you love yourself. You love you wanted to be happy again. So you wanted to be happy. So so that's kind of like my view and my perspective after COVID is to do something that make me happy, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm doing everything right now. Everything. And you know what? Somebody told me this. What? Slow down.
Yeah.
Focus on one thing. No, I don't.
No, you said one thing.
No, I don't. We, you know what? Mom life, especially, we can be a mom. We can be a successful mom. We can be a great mom. We can also be a great therapist and a great business entrepreneur. We can be a great speaker, a great podcast host. We can do anything, everything. That's okay. We don't need to focus on one thing.
Well, and that's the thing, because people are like, how do you do all of this? And I'm like,
how do you feel when people say that to you?
Well, it makes me wonder, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And I mean, I have, and a lot of times, there's a therapist I follow on Instagram. I think she's called like the capacity expert, and I love her post because she talks about people's capacity. And I've always said this, probably before I went to school for therapy and all the things. And my friends used to say, like, how do you have so much, like, room for everything and everybody? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I had to really sit with it. Like, what am I doing different that other people are not?
Right.
But a lot of things I realized is a lot of people do get triggered in different environments. And so, like, even extroverts, I challenge introverts because sometimes you get very overwhelmed and drained in environments because they're triggering. And so it's finding the environments that pour into you that can give you that, but also challenge those pieces, that capacity of those spaces, that feel very draining. Because why does that feel draining? Is it something in there that reminds you of something that maybe you haven't dealt with? And a lot of times, my introverts that have done therapy with me, they know, because they're like completely 180s now. They're like, oh, I do have room for people, but I had to manage some pieces or the thoughts I had around what people were thinking about me or what I thought they were thinking about me, and it's a whole different world for them now. They're not so worried about taking things personal, but if they see something, they just bring it up, and it's not so draining. It's like, oh, I brought it up and it wasn't that bad, and I was like, see, just talk about the things. But I am, I'm proud of the people that can choose healthy environments for themselves. Most people grew up in very unsafe situations, and they don't know how to identify safety. And so it can be very draining in life if you don't know what looks safe or unsafe. And so that's where I tell people it's okay to go do some work to figure out your safe spaces. And you'll be surprised, those sometimes unsafe spaces weren't necessarily unsafe. They just felt unsafe because you were triggered. And now you can see it from a whole nother perspective. And so, challenging people's capacity is interesting. But, I have my rest days too. Like you said, there has to be balance, right? Some people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, on Wednesdays, I work from home and I take naps.
Yeah. Somebody like, Kristy, you take naps too? You go to sleep too?
I go to sleep every night.
You sit down and be quiet too? I'm like, there's time that I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Balance.
Because we have so much energy. They're like, man, you keep going. Like, you can do multiple things and your mind is always have ideas just like us, right? And I was like, do you ever naps? I'm like, yes, I do naps. You know how to take naps?
Oh, and that's the thing, because before, there was a time where I didn't know how to slow down or stop. Right. But, I had to learn that I do need to stop. I do need to slow down. I need time for this, that, and the third. And so, one of the things I put in place was to get a massage every month.
That's a good one.
And now I'm going to the chiropractor. I took a little break from them.
My nails.
Nail appointments, yes.
Yes, when I get my lashes, I just have to lay there for 2-3 hours. There you go. That's my nap time, and that's my slow down time.
And it's really allowing that space to say, I'm doing this for me. And a lot of people, they don't do that for themselves. Right. And it's like, you got to pour into yourself to be able to pour out. And so, but I will say, I genuinely love, seeing people happy and thriving and growing. And some people's thought process is not around that. They're so consumed with their issues. And sometimes life is rough. And, you go through rough patches, but that's not all of life. Like, you got to be able to see the good and the pleasures of life and the, the quality pieces of life. And not just, because some people like, you're just doing so much. My mom said, what are you adding to your list this week? Aren't you tired already? And I'm like, yes and no.
Same thing here. It's like, Kristy, you realtor, you insurance, you just passed your notary, and then you were studying something. I'm like, I want to do all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
if my
life is short.
My capacity allow me to, I will.
Yeah.
Yes.
And life is short. Like, when we think about it, most people can live to like their 70s or 80s now. But like the quality of life, right? And so
that's the most important thing. What have you done?
What have you done?
The quality of your life.
And let me tell you, I take pictures. I try to take pictures everywhere I go, all the things. Sometimes I'm in the moment and we don't take pictures. I'm like, dang, why didn't I take a picture?
And then you can't come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't come back and you're like, oh my God, I forgot to take picture of that flower, and now I cannot imagine how that flower looks like again. You cannot go back, because once the time is gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And so I always tell people, document your things, journal about it, write about it, do art around it, whatever is in your capacity. Do it, because you know, at some point you are going to slow down in different ways. Now, I wouldn't be a senior that's always active.
Right.
But, you know, there is some realities around getting older, too, that you just got to sit with. You're not going to have, at, you know, 70. I've seen bodybuilders at 70. But I'm pretty sure they're still resting.
Yeah.
You know, they're still having moments of rest. They're not working full-time jobs.
They probably rested up until they are 60, and then the last 10 years, from
They're
60
like,
to 70, they
let me
mute her.
just, yeah.
I'm just going to start working out right
in and
now.
out. Yeah.
I have been wasting my 50 years.
Yeah, and so
I don't know how long I'm going to live.
well, and that's the thing, you know, when I do get to slow down in other ways, hopefully I have these documented, whether
Right.
it's printed pictures, because I still believe in
You know, you
printed
can
pictures.
do books of yourself, your books,
Yes.
audio, AI can do it for you and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think like up to today, I have 4 books already.
Wow,
Something
I love
changing
that.
about my life, let's say my career, or I'm into
Yes.
pickleball. I got,
nice.
I wrote a book about pickleball.
Wow.
And then I was a merchant specialist for Bank of America.
Yeah.
I was, and then I got a book of that. And then
Nice.
Will Say I got a book for that.
I love
and then
that.
something else. What was it? I forgot about. Oh, coffee. I
Ooh.
wanted to open a coffee shop, boba. I was into that, and then so
Oh.
I got a book for that too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, when I'm 70, when I have dementia or something, I'm
Right.
like, what have I done?
Done.
So I have to go back and read my books, right? Or maybe put my
Yes.
love story in there.
Yes. And you know what? And I think that's the beautiful part is, you know, you create these memories so you can look back
Right,
and share your story.
Right.
Whether it's verbally or in, you know, if you sitting up there with the screen showing your grandkids, you know, or just people in the community, you want
Right.
to share your story.
Right.
I think it's important for people to know other people's history. I believe storytelling is an amazing piece of many cultures that, you know, is slowly kind of getting lost in different ways.
I know, right?
Because we do have so much technology, but it's a
Writing
different type of
letters and
storytelling.
journaling.
Yes.
It's-
Yes.
Yeah. And then maybe my daughter want to read my story one day, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then tell her kids or, you know, pass it on.
Exactly. And passing it on because, you know, you just never know how it's going to impact someone in the future. Like, I tell my kids all the time, like, my grandmother was one of the first Black women to purchase a house on the west side of Chicago back then, when everything was kind of shifting. And, you know, for a woman to purchase a house in like the 50s.
That's big.
That's major.
Yeah,
I'm
oh
like,
my
you probably
God.
don't understand that right
Yeah.
now because it seems like everything is,
Because
you know.
back then, I mean, they had bias and all kind of
yeah.
stuff and all kind of like, you know,
Red
things
tape for
about,
different
yes, that's
things.
right,
Yeah,
a woman
redlining.
versus,
Yes.
man, and where you should live, where you shouldn't live. There's so
Yes.
much, and that's why there's so many rules and compliance with real estate because
Yes.
of like, you know, steering people here and then
Yes.
redlining and then,
Yes.
oh, you cannot buy homes, you should buy a home. It's just, and what area should you live in?
Yeah.
It's just so much, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that everything that we were, our parents were going through and our
Yeah.
ancestors, everybody going through, as it get better and better, they changed
Yes.
all those, you know, to help, you know,
Yes.
everybody have equal opportunities.
Yes, equity is
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
And so, just being able to do the things so that way we can share it
Right,
one day, right.
right.
And let people know the possibilities
Yes.
of life and, you know, not putting a cap on things.
Right.
And, you know, it's unfortunate that so many people feel like things have to be a certain way
Right.
or have to look a certain way. And it doesn't. Like, my mom...
We look different. I like
yeah.
different things. You like different
Yes.
things, you know,
Yeah, but we have so much in common at the same time, right?
Yes,
And,
yes.
you
Just
know-
found out that about her.
But yes, my mom's...
Because before the podcast, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ask her anything. I don't want to know anything. I want to know on the show day.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the fun part too. When I saw the title, I was like, oh, I like this. Like, I like unpredictable. That's right on my alley.
Yes, because life is unpredictable. The world's unpredictable.
Yes,
Everything unpredictable. Let's say two hours from now, hey,
Yeah.
something else going to change.
Oh,
the weather
yes.
going to change. Things going to change. Something else going to
Yes.
change.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be tomorrow.
Exactly.
All right? It could be 2 hours from now. There's something change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, life is short.
Right.
We can't take the days and the hours, the minutes we have for granted. And I tell people all the time, if you think about someone, reach out to them.
Right.
Like, don't just be like, oh, I guess I'll text them next week.
I see you next week. Let's get coffee next week. You don't know what's going to happen next week.
Let me tell you, I have had so many people come to therapy
Yeah.
for guilt. for what they didn't do, or saying I wish I would have, or I said I was going to do this with this person, but I never did. And it's like,
yes,
if you have the thought, act on it sometimes. Now, sometimes our thoughts, we don't need to act on.
Maybe 11 p.m. we have that thought. Right. That's how I came up with the show name and everything. It's like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. the thought, and I was working with my my ChatGPT, my boyfriend ChatGPT. So then all the ideas come up, and then I talked to the owner here at the studio. I'm like, I have this idea, He go for it. I'm like, okay. And then the next Friday, I'm like, I'm here. You know, it's time. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'll be there next month. Yeah, I'm gonna be there in 2 weeks. Nope. The next Friday, I'm here.
And you know what? And some people are like, well, did you assess all the things? And sometimes you just got to live.
You just got to go. You go
and
do
you
it.
make mistakes. But some people feel bad for making mistakes. And it's like, it's okay to make mistakes. Like when I applied for the board, I saw the position. I was like, oh, I'm about to do this. Like, I didn't know what I was fully getting myself into.
Just get yourself into it and then make mistakes and get better.
But I also know that I prayed for certain things, and I don't know how all this is going to work out. I'm just staying the course. Yes. And so when I see things, I act on it because, you know, for me, it's a sign from God that there's something that could possibly happen in this space. Or I can learn, I can grow, I can make connections, I can find some resources.
Lots of things that could happen.
Things. Yes. And so I always tell people, don't hold yourself back. You know, you got to...
You want to do it,
you got to challenge yourself to push it. And I'm very proud of the people that act on it and don't let it hold you back. And so, good. Look, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm proud of you too. Okay, so we did talk about, you know, journaling and everything. Yeah. So I always have gift for my guests. So this is your gift. And I open it to see you like it, okay?
Kirby.
So this is how we're going to end our podcast. I mean,
I love it.
We're going to have part 2. I love talking to her, and I feel like you guys are learning something today. I learned something. I learned something. You guys learned something, and I never brought anybody as a guest just like her. I learned so much about her. She has so many talented and so many. She wears so many hats. Just like similar like me, just like me, and we love that. You like it?
Love it.
It's a cute, right?
Yeah.
I got me one too.
And I love keychains.
Yes. So at the end, this is my message to you. Whatever you're going through, doesn't matter what. Find the right resources, the right expert to help you get through it. And it's a new beginning. Today is your new beginning. Get out there and make it work. Be happy. What else? Positive vibes.
Yes, positive vibes.
Connect with people.
Find the glimmers of life.
Yes.
That's what I always tell people. Don't focus on your triggers. Focus on your glimmers. Save the triggers for therapy.
Yes. That's right. That's right. That's what she's here for.
Yes.
So how do they find you if they need you?
wholeroot.healing.com. That is my website. I'm on all social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and phone number 469-334-3080. And yes, if people need advice, I do consultations. I do lots of things.
Yeah, she does lots of things now that I just learned. Small business. I'm gonna have part 2 with her. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Bye.